Hey guys, and welcome to another Night with Phee here on the Phee Smee Network. Just had a live show tonight with Fee's Sports Ball with Sir Isaac the Guru. Sir Isaac the Guru's been rocking and rolling, nickel and diamond. Had about an hour and 42-minute show. You guys want to talk football? Enjoy this weekend. Starting tonight, Buffalo and I believe Buffalo and the Dolphins are playing now. Last I checked, it was 14-14. So got a full slate of football, not very good games Saturday, only a few good games Sunday. Monday Night Football is great. So you guys check Sir Isaac the Guru out every Thursday on the Phee Smee Network at 6:30 live. But any of the replays you can check out on any of the platforms all throughout the weekend. Get his picks. He's on fire. He is a nickel and dimer and a two-line rhymer. I do appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. I wish you would hit that like button, give me a little heart, subscribe, share with somebody. Need to get in the right algorithms, and we do appreciate you guys tuning in. Tonight we're going to talk about It Feels Like the First Time. That's right, Foreigner played a song and sang a song when I was growing up. It feels like the first time. All that time I would be driving around loving that song. Well, it feels like the first time here. You know, anytime you're doing something new, it feels like the first time. And whether you start a new grade or the first grade or kindergarten, or every time school starts, you've got that anxiety, that excitement, that not knowing, that projecting of what you hope it'll be and dreaming. Well, in sports, it's a new team. If it's going graduating high school, going to get a new or get a job, or go to college and get a degree there and then start a new job. Everybody has a first day, and it feels like the first time. Can you imagine when you just started learning how to drive a car, how excited that you were to be behind that wheel and feeling like it was the first time that you would actually be able to learn and drive. And then you got excited about when you got 16 and you started driving more and more. Pretty soon it was just another day. It's just transportation. It's to get you from point A to point B. But see how as we move along and it doesn't feel like the first time again, sometimes we get bored. Sometimes we don't actually put in the effort or the energy that we used to. We don't get excited about anything or everything unless it's the first time. So we have to keep pushing that envelope. You find it in corporations and businesses now where they have to make their shareholders happy. So they have to get into different lines in order not to just be dominant in that market share, but they have to find ways to increase from year to year, or then their earnings get stagnant. And then stocks go up and down based on perception. And reality is they're still making plenty of money. They're still cash flowing phenomenally. But they've got to introduce new lines, new products. They've got to make sure that that bottom line keeps increasing. Or even though they're making money, they can lose value. So in every new season, especially in the retail business, it feels like the first time because it's the first time of that season for that year in your life. So we have first times every day. You know, tomorrow will be the first time that you're living that day. So we need to spend time remembering the excitement that we had when we joined a new team or we were selected to be a part of something, whether it's cheerleading or a volleyball or baseball. It would feel like the first time in about everything with relationships too. Can you remember that first dance or that first time that you liked a boy or a girl and how nervous you were and how exciting and all the butterflies that you had and the first kiss that you had and so excited what you had thought about it being all those years. And, you know, back in the 70s, they used to try to teach boys how to kiss on the back of their hand. And say that's the way you learn to kiss. I don't know if I'd be teaching that, but that I think that was junior high sex education in ninth grade back in 1977 or something. I don't have any idea, but the anticipation of going out on that first date, the anticipating of driving that car, the anticipating of holding hands. Boy, I tell you what, that's a big deal to a lot of people when they get to the point to where they actually connect or hold hands. That again is a very, very sweet thing as they grow and they have feelings through puberty, to where there's a whole lot of firsts there. And if they'll pray and have godly people, they'll have a lot of excitement and fun in living that way rather than going out in the world, which was what Phee did, and he had a lot of fun also. But at the same time, he lived in sin, and you pay a price for sin. So there's always a payday someday, and so you'll find that it starts really, really good for a long season even. But at some point, there's always a payday, and we're going to talk about that later on. But when it feels like the first time, you're anxious, and we're coming into a season that you've never felt like before. You've never seen it before, and so you need to be able to prepare for it. In the same time that you'll be anxious and worried, you need to be excited, and you need to have plenty of energy, and know the priorities of what the real true meaning of success is in this world. Because the true meaning is, are you a child of God? Because there's nothing like feeling for the first time like a child of God. And if you can just be discipled and just be led into more of a loving spirit, a love affair with your Lord, to where it will continue to grow as a phenomenal love story. But I promise you, it's going to feel like the first time. You're going to have a whole lot of first a lot of these days. And normally when it feels like the first time, or it is the first time, I can tell you that without the repetition, remember, the more you do something, the better you should be at it. And so in all aspects of theology, whether it's love skills, business deals, or sports drills, I can tell you that repetition is the mother of all skills. So the more you do something, the more you plan, the better you prepare, the better you will actually play when it comes game time. Because, folks, it feels like the first time every day, today, tomorrow, the next day, and the next day. Any time that you wake up, it's a new day. And so yesterday is gone forever. Tomorrow is not given. So let's make a decision today, and let's enjoy today. Let's love one another today, and be a positive and excited, because we're going to need a whole lot of people getting excited and having a lot of energy and a lot of effort if we're going to bring on the greatest evangelistic movement in the history of the world. So it's going to feel like the first time almost every day when we're going through something new. It's called like you're plowing new ground. You're bushwhacking a new trail. It's a new dawn. All I can tell you is it feels like the first time. So thank you guys for tuning in tonight as we'll get into these questions. You can send a question at feesmee.com. Just send me an email at feesmee.com, or you go to my website, feesmee.com. You'll see the question there. You'll just fill that out, and I'll get the question and then read it and see if I can help you with some of these different questions that we have. So tonight's first question, guys. Phee, what are some of the reasons why women choose certain men over others? What can I do to improve my chances? Do I treat them bad or good? Gene in Tennessee. Gene in Tennessee, that's all psychological. Remember, arousal triggers desire. And when you get in a situation of the laws of attraction, it's not about why they choose a certain person, whether they treat them good or bad. It's about the psychological needs and emotional needs and emotional intelligence that the women, have. What you have to do in those situations, if it's in a big group setting, is you have to be able not to be the funniest, not to be the loudest, but to have a different energy about you. So why do people choose other people than some girls choose the bad guys, and you get put in the friend zone, or you're not, you think you're boring, or I just have to tell you, they're creative creatures. They have emotional intelligence, and to attract women, they normally are the hunter. They normally find the man that they want and they go after him, because they can't expect that men would have the emotional intelligence to know or to even see those signs. But there's an attraction of why people choose certain men over others, and it's all about, psychological. It depends on who's choosing, and what in the world is important to her. Most women, I can tell you, they're attracted to status. They're attracted to dominance. They're attracted to a man who has a certain energy and aura about himself, that when he walks in the room, he owns the room without saying it. She wants a man that all the other women are wanting or liking or talking about. They're very competitive. If she thinks nobody else even cares anything about you, or you're invisible, or you don't make eye contact with her, then she's got plenty of options. Remember, women have plenty of options, especially beautiful women in certain settings. They always have options, but men, you can be out in the first 5 seconds. I mean, if you don't smell good, if you don't have any emotional intelligence, you're nervous, you're a non-factor, you're not on the log. I can tell you that a lot of women psychologically like bad boys. They like motorcycles. They like cowboys. They like the men in uniforms, whether it's athletes or police officers or military. Something about carrying those guns, those weapons. They like that. They just like it. And other women, they want the suit and tie and the intelligence. And you've got some of them that want the rough and out in the oil fields, and you've got all kinds of women. There's somebody out there for you. But if you don't do the basics, and you don't know why that women are trying to choose some people and others rather than others. Your question was, what are some of the reasons why women choose certain men over others? What can I do to improve my chances? Do I treat them good or bad? No, the man that she craves, that's the one who can go in those mental, emotional loops to where it scrambles her head, it scrambles her pattern. There's a mystery. She's wanting to actually finish in her mind, and she tends to finish in her mind and connect those thoughts and emotions the way she wants to, and that's good for you. That's powerful for you. But that you have to realize if what you're looking at is when somebody walks in the room, they have that it factor, and that's who they're looking at. And if they find out that somebody else is looking at them, that makes them try harder. And that's not all women, but it is most women when it comes to what they want and why they choose certain men. Because there's some women out there that won't have anything to do with somebody that sweats or is dirty or has dirt under their fingernails or perspires in the least, and gets his hands dirty. But there's a whole lot more of them out there that they all like that. They can roll around that dirt right there with them. So that's a situation where it's a psychological deal. Every woman's different, and they are creative. And you've got to do your part. You got to look at them in the eye. You got to be able to talk to them without being all nervy. And so don't work too hard at it. Sometimes the more you work, the more you look like you're in a hurry. And you don't ever need to be in a hurry. You need to move at a slower pace than everybody else does, and pause longer than anybody else does, whether it's in your walk, whether it's in your gaze, whether you just, hold, when you shake hands a beat longer. Those are things that normal people do the same thing. So you try to be just a beat off. You just want to scramble that just a little bit. And that normally will set you apart to some women. The problem is if there's 10 women in there and they choose 10 other guys than you, that's okay unless you just don't care which of the 10 choose you. You just want to be chosen. So you ought to be the one who is looking and seeing which one that you would like to talk to, and you pursue them. And then if they turn you down, people don't like to be turned down. They don't like to be told no. And I have to tell you, all your life, you're going to be told no. And so get over it. You should have been accustomed to that when your parents, most of the time, they always tell you no, no, no. I guess it's so mentally conditioned in you that's so negative, it stings you. But especially in business and sales, you're going to be told no a lot. And in this business here, you're going to be told how terrible you are or how crazy you are or whatever else. So you can't be worried about being told no or not being able to take criticism or being rejected. All of those things are part of life. And that's why I think sports are such a valuable lesson. You don't win every game. And so if you won every game, then it'd be easy to think that's the way life is. But I won a lot of years and didn't lose a game. But when I lost a game, I learned that that there's a different emotion there. So you have to, when you're trying to figure out women, and you can't figure out whether or not they like good guys or bad guys. They like guys. And then you have to look at their personality and their environment and what their likes and dislikes are. And if you allow them to come choose you, then maybe you like these three over here and this one over here chose you. I guess I'll go out with her. That's not the way that goes. That's a losing culture. That's a losing mentality. You need to find someone you're interested in, and you need to make an effort to let her know that, and then enjoy the flirtation, enjoy the banter, enjoy the back and forth, and anything from the arguments to your favorite team is her worst team. It doesn't make any difference how you connect. It's that it's a fun time. It's an exciting time. How many people go on dates and don't say 3 words and come home and say, "Then I had the best time of my life"? If that's out there, they don't have a lot of options, because normally people like to have fun and be excited with people they're around. They do a lot of things they don't want to do or they don't enjoy in life. So when they choose to do something that's supposed to be fun, they don't want to be around negative people. Negative people flock together. So don't worry about what a woman wants, whether it's a good or bad, or whether you should treat her good or bad. There's all kinds of labels out there with that. I would tell you that you would, in most situations, you would love to treat her the nicest, sweetest girl that you would ever have, because you're interested in her. But I understand the too easy. They don't pay any attention to somebody that really just, and that's true. I mean, that's how creative they are. So you're not gonna win with all of them. So don't be worried or be scared of the word no, and go try your best instead of wait for them to choose, because obviously you don't think they've been choosing you. But I'm telling you, if you have enough mystery and confidence in you to where you'll let them finish that loop when you're in a conversation, I promise you that you'll live rent-free in their mind. And if it's in their mind, they're going to choose to enjoy it. So you'll get to that far at least. Now, what you do after you're there, that's a whole different story. It's a whole set of skills. But to get there, you ought to be able to get there. And don't worry about trying to please all the women. Try to please a woman that you're interested in, that you care about, that you might be interested in seeing in a committed long-term relationship and eventually marriage. I hope that's what most people are shooting for. I just don't think that's it. I think they just want to go out and do their deal and and live their life and move right on because they don't want the commitment, and they've seen with the commitments that their parents have and their grandparents that they don't last anyway, and they don't honor them. So it's a bad situation out there for them. But I do appreciate the question there, Gene from Tennessee. I would tell you that there are certain women that will choose certain men every time, and that shouldn't bother you because you need to be choosing the woman that you want. And I hope that's a godly woman. I'm hoping you're praying about it in that situation. But thank you for the question. Next question. Phee, what are the traits a man should look for in a woman? Terry in Mississippi. Well, Terry, that's a great question from you young whippersnappers. What should a trait for a Phee, what would be good traits for Phee or men in general to look for women? I would tell you, number one, do they honor their mother and father? If they honor their mother and father, then they were raised in a loving home. So they would know how to love in that situation. If not, they're trying to learn how to love outside their home with a marriage. Or if their marriage fails, they're trying to find love someplace else. And some people go all through their life without finding true love. And so there's somebody for everybody out there. You need to pray about it. My Lord has somebody for everybody. So what are some of the 5 traits or 6 traits or 10 traits? I don't know if you asked me how many to give you, but first I would say yes. She's if she honors her mother and father, and if she doesn't, if she's ever found true love, hopefully you're it. And then you're going to be patient with her and try your best to let her know and to nourish her. Because a lot of people think when things start getting good in relationships, they start getting nervous because they've never felt that way before, and they haven't been around that type of love. But if you were raised in a loving home, it's much easier for you to know what that is. So when you see it again, you can recognize it. But yes, that's important. The next one that I had written down is that she's not hungry for money or luxury. If you start a relationship based on money or based on how many trips she's going to take or what car she drives, that's just a bad trait. Remember, here's what's so cool in life. There are people out there that when they get married and they actually start receiving gifts or upgrading, they are so thankful. So thankful. From driving the 1976 Impala until they drive in the 2018 Honda Civic. They're so excited and happy about that. And you've got other folks that when they start going out with you, it's all about how much money you can afford to buy them expensive dinners, expensive gifts, where we going next, how long we staying. If she starts planning trips and is interested in the lifestyle that you live right off the bat, that's just not very smart on her part. A good one, a smart one, would not do that. So that ought to tell you her emotional intelligence. I would tell you that it would be a very good trait that if she is not interested in or hungry for money or for luxury. Everybody wants the security, but here's what I would tell you too, is if she looks great without makeup on. Remember, if you see a girl without makeup on, if there's any women out there, here's what I would do. If you're developing a new relationship, send a picture with nothing but shorts and a t-shirt and no makeup, and without your hair being fixed, you comb it, but without it spraying it and poofing it. Send that picture because the ones that respond to that one will say, if I like her without makeup on, I can see her soul shining through. That is more important to a good man, a high-value man, than to see some photoshopped, high makeup, styled hair in a different type of outfit or something. If that's the way people start, because then as they go on, you get to take those masks off and roll back those onions, and you get to the real person. But they're auditioning at first. So if you want to be different, stand out, do what I tell. Well, do what Phee tells you to do. Send the picture. Smile, look good, the best you can look, but don't put on any makeup, don't put on any clothes, just bare bone. And what you'll find is the men who are looking at those eyes and you, they're seeing your soul. I like the way she looks with no makeup on, because I'm here to tell you, folks. A lot of folks have said for years you can go to bed with a 10 and wake up with a 3, and a lot of times you just you go to bed with a 3, and I don't think you're waking up with a 10. So that's just me, but I think that's good advice for you to. But if you're looking for 5 traits of a woman that you should be interested in, Terry, number 1, does she honor her mother and father? Number 2, is she hungry for money or luxury? Number 3, does she look great without makeup, because that's her soul shining? Number 4, and I like this, if she will be unhappy, angry, and enraged at somebody that mistreats you. See, that's someone that's on the same team as you. See, I like that. I like the men who talk well about their wives when they're not around. I like the women that talk well about their husbands when they're not around, that show a class about themselves. And what this is, when you're looking at a trait of a woman that's not hungry for money, and it honors people that that she loves, or her family, those are good. But if you see her without makeup on and she's radiant, that's awesome. That's awesome. But if she goes to bad, if she rages against anybody that mistreats you, that tells you that she's ready to go to war. And you have some that'll tap out real quick, and you have some that actually will go to war. So your enemy is her enemy, and that's the key. And I tell you, one of the ones that's very important to me is, does she love children and animals? You'll find it that women who love children and animals, they have a spirit, a sweet spirit, that when it feels like the first time is now the 365th time because you've lived with her a year after being married, then you don't care that she wears that makeup, at night 4 times a week, but you got to spend all that time with her, and you want to know who she is from the inside out. And if she, normally the good traits is, if she loves children and animals, then she's good with children and animals, which means I'm going to really like her. And so that's you can be fooled if they can parrot and they can project, but over a period of time, you're going to find if they really like. Do they have dogs? Do they have cats? Because I don't include the reptile boa constrictor or Mr. Turtle or you fish freaks. So again, I've got friends that have. I got one friend. He bought a $1,600 tortoise that's supposed to be as big as this room when he's 150. Okay. All right. Good for you. I bought a monkey when I was in college. Name was PJ. Took him to class all the time. When I went, put him up on my shoulder. Women loved him. He loved the women. Didn't like men. Would try to bite them. They didn't like him. They tried to beat him with a broom. So didn't work out for old Phee. The University of Arkansas said that couldn't have any exotic animals in those dorms back then. So Phee decided that he would have to leave, and the spider monkey was sold for it. I'll just say just a fraction of the cost of what I bought him for. Great deal for Phee. Great deal for Phee. Phee's deals. I'm going to tell you what. I've had some good ones. I've had some good deals like PJ, the monkey. Those are a few characteristics that a high-value man should look for in a high-value woman. Of course, it's always nice if she looks fantastic to you. No one else's opinion. should matter at that point. Different looks for different folks, different strokes for different folks. So I do appreciate that, and those are some traits that I would tell you that you would pay attention to for a woman that would be a high-value woman. So thank you about that. So next question. Phee, I'm a 52-year-old single female. How can I tell when a man is faking confidence? I've been fooled more than once with men acting one way in public and then disappointing in private with a lack of confidence. How can I make sure without wasting my time or energy being fooled? Tina from Missouri. You'll see a lot of men act a certain way when they first trying to develop a relationship, or if they're behind that computer or on that phone. But sooner or later, you're finally gonna meet them, and when you meet them, you're gonna realize real quick whether that, what's their rapid eye movement? Are they fidgeting in their chair? Did they start being very aggressive very quick with name dropping and trying to impress too early? Those are characteristics of people who act like they're real bad until they meet somebody that's badder, and then they'll fold their tent real quick. They want to be the loudest guy. They want to be the funniest guy. They want to make the most commotion. So those are the guys that you might think, or a lot of women might think, are very confident and very bold. But then when they get alone in an intimate situation, they don't know what they're doing, or they lack confidence for certain reasons between their ears. So there's a whole lot of folks out there that they're really some other person on that basketball court, that football field, that baseball diamond, and people have a persona of them. That's who they are. They're the hero. And in reality, when they walk off that field and they put those street clothes on, they look like Clark Kent instead of Superman. And a lot of times they feel like Clark Kent. And especially in sports, a lot of people feel like failures that are really good. And that's why some people make it and other people don't, is because of that intelligence, that emotional and mental intelligence, being able to cope with failure, being able not to be the best every night. Once you get used to a winning culture, it affects you in every way to lose. And so you've got men out there that will act, most men will immediately start telling you about what they have or what they're doing. They're trying to impress, and that might look like confidence. But when you get them, one-on-one in a date, or one-on-one at a movie, or in a car, or in an intimate situation at a home, or you'll find a different. You'll see how comfortable they are in that situation. But what you're asking me to do is to say that, how can you tell without you actually going out with them? That's a little more difficult. You just have to basically read their body language and their English and what they're doing. So if his body leans into you before you lean into him, then he's working too hard. He's fidgeting. He wants you to notice. He's again. You don't want to work too hard. And if he walks in and he starts telling you what he did as a senior in high school and he made All-State, then he hadn't moved on from that win, and those are still fresh or current stories in his mind. So you don't want to waste your time or your energy on those type of guys. So again, I don't know what you look like. I don't know if what your interests are, but what you're seeming to have problems with folks who you think are confident, and then you go out with them and they're not confident. So I've got one here that says if you sharpen your speech and disagree with him, he immediately drops his tone, which tells you he doesn't like conflict over knowledge or truth. A lot of times you'll find that attraction grows when you argue or debate, a lot of times on silly topics. And no matter what they say, you just try to have a little debate with them and a little flirtation with that, and see how emotionally intelligent they are. And a lot of times it'll become very funny and exciting for them and for yourself if you're a creative thinker. But if you really just are looking for to not spend any time or energy with them, then don't get fooled because there's a whole lot of them out there. The more time you spend with them, you won't be fooled near as much. But just to be able to pick up on a couple of signs, whether or not they're faking confidence or not, normally that's when you get in a situation away from actually meeting them. So I don't know if I can give you any better questions or any better answers than that. If he's looking around not grounded while you're talking, it signals that he's being graded. And I worded it that way because a lot of times when somebody's talking to me, if they're looking this way or this way, and I'm watching them, or I'm talking to them and they're looking past me, I'm wondering, what are they thinking these other people are doing when I'm with this young lady or I'm with this guy? And I think that he especially thinks he's being graded because he's steady looking to see what other people are thinking. And are they looking at you? And that's a very big tell for insecurity. When you're talking and his eyes are wandering around, he's scrambled in his mind. And that normally tells you that he doesn't really think he deserves to be there with you. So there is definitely a lack of confidence in that. Phee calls those pretenders. He says sooner or later you'll figure out that they're pretenders because normally they fold their tent and go on about their business when they find out that there's some competition. And you don't shy away from competition when you're looking to try to meet someone. Number one, to women, if they have competition, they'll work harder. To men, sometimes they'll just say, well, she's already taken and move on and not be happy because they really wanted her. That's the lack of confidence men have with women these days. It is a lack of confidence that is a lack of reps. It's a lack of coaching. And these days, women, there's a whole feminist movement out there that's been moving for years and years to emasculate men. And a lot of folks out there, I don't need a man. And so you're in a situation where if you don't have some type of skills, then you're gonna know that you're gonna be left out in the cold. But yeah, I like the fact that I call them pretenders because that's you can only wear those masks until you don't wear them anymore, and then people find out. Sometimes it affects relationships, sometimes it ends relationships, but sometimes you just make the wrong choice. And normally the end result is what dictates that choice, Tina. So I hope that I can help you as far as finding a man with confidence. And anyway, we'll go to the next question. Phee, I am a 55-year-old man who exercises daily. I'm very active and fit. Younger women are attracted to me, but after a couple of dates, they go cold. What am I doing wrong? Jake in Ohio. I think younger women are attracted to men that are magnetic, that have the confidence and the stability. They have the life experiences. Whenever you look at those women that look at older men, I think that's what they're seeing, or that's what they're trying to see. You're obviously not having any problem. You're good looking. You're fit. You're exercising. You're actually getting the dates with the younger women. So what are you doing wrong after you get the dates? Number one, the biggest thing that older men mistakes they make with younger women is they try to big money their wallet, and they try to they're going to take care of all the bills. They're going to take care of the new car. They're going to take you on the trips. A lot of women will say yes to that every day of the week, but that's the person that you're going to end up spending time with. And they normally, when you pull off those layers, you'll find that the reason they were with you is because of those things you were doing. So if you start a conversation with a younger woman by trying to make her life easier or be her sugar daddy or take care of her, you're really insulting her intelligence and you're really hurting yourself. In other words, you're saying to her, well, the only reason I'm with him is because of his money. You're hurting yourself by doing that. You need to find other ways to when you're communicating with her. And you certainly don't need to lecture. You don't need to be her professor. If she wants you to be her romantic partner, then it's not about you lecturing her. If she's got a problem and she's venting to you, you don't have to solve the problem. You don't have to tell her about what you did during that same, 15 years ago in that same situation, except it was this situation and this is how we handled it because this is what I did. She's not interested in that. So a lot of older men can date all the young women they want, but then they don't know how to keep them. They want to start, spending a bunch of money on them, and then they want to start acting like their daddy or their professor, and what does that do? I mean, women are. If you have a magnetic personality, that arousal is triggered, and they have a lot of excitement. Once you do certain things, that excitement turns into disinterest real quick, real quick. You don't think the 35-year-old woman, if you're, really acting like her daddy and you're 60 years old and buying her everything and doing everything for her, it won't take long before she's like, yeah. And look at it this way: if an older man is dating a younger woman and they just start dating and he drops everything, all of his friends, all of his hobbies, surrounds her, clings to her, then she'll again be excited for a little while, and then she'll say, "I thought, what is this guy's life before me? It evolves around me. He's way too clingy for me." And you can get real creepy as an older man dating younger women when you pull off those traits. You're obviously getting the dates, but they grow cold because you're doing something. And if you're flashing that money, and after you spend it, they don't see any interest, or if you're again trying to lecture them, be their professor, then let them vent, let them have their own life experiences. You need to be telling them and tell them how smart and how much you enjoy being around them because of their energy and her effort, and because of her, she's got a special look, and you can learn a whole lot from her. Those are the type things that you can do to maintain a relationship with a younger woman, rather than to, try to act like her daddy and want to know why she doesn't want to kiss you. That doesn't make sense to me. But here I lost my place. Yes, I said if you'll listen and ask questions, and then listen and ask more questions, then you'll find that you're increasing that vibe rather than killing that vibe with trying to lecture her and give her advice and solve all of her problems. That's just things that most older men do. And then of course they, like I said, they become available all the time. They change their lives immediately, and they're so excited. Like, I'm telling you, you get 75-year-old man, 75-year-old billionaires, they get excited about a 26-year-old. They're just eat up with it. Eat up with it. Eat up with it. It's like dadgum banana split in Garland County. You never can tell. You're going to have, at some point, you're going to have to get some caramel and some honey, and realize that if you want to impress, then you're not going to be able to be her daddy or her professor, or spend a bunch of money on her, and that's the only reason you'll attract plenty, but that's the ones you'll attract. But those are the things that I would tell you not to do. You're obviously getting the dates, but you're obviously doing something wrong. And make sure your breath smells good, and or chewing gum, or your scent's good. Don't try to dress like them. Use your age as an advantage. Use your age as a life experience. When you tell stories, they just enjoy it and have a good time. Make it quick, but make it important and impressive. But if you harp on that all the time and start with that, it's just not going to work. Just be an active listener, and you'll find that she's attracted to you for a whole lot more than just your money. Because there's a whole lot that older men can do for younger women that makes them attracted to her. And same way with older women with younger men. There's just something about certain family dynamics. So a lot of men been raised without a daddy with 3 sisters, a whole lot different than the guy who was raised with a mother and father and 3 brothers, a whole lot different. So and then one of them might be tomboys, another one might be pianists. So you never can tell. Everybody's different. But if you'll quit doing those things, if you'll quit trying to be her daddy and her professor and her sugar daddy, and you'll stop clinging to her and changing the way you do things, and I think you'll find that those young women, they won't be worrying about your age. Now, if you're 85 and she's 22, then that's pure stupidity. But if we're talking about a normal age gap difference within 20 years, and she's over 30 and you're over 50, that's not a big deal. But if you're 72 and she's 23, then good luck with that. But anyway, that's what I would help you as far as trying not to do those things if you want to be successful in dating younger women. Jake, I do appreciate you and asking that question. Well, it feels like the first time for Phee when it comes into talking about the Phee Smee Network, trying to figure out a routine, how to get all my work that I need to be in, how to review, how to get folks to edit, to how to build. We've got several things we're doing, and it's exciting to me, and it does feel like the first time in a long time, because it is. And so I'm thankful for you guys tuning in to Night Night with Phee. I can tell you that we're going to go through a lot of feeling like the first time. And I believe a lot of days you're going to see things for the first time. And I want you to remember how excited you were to do things. The first roller coaster you rode on, the first time you got to go on the ocean, the first time that you learned to swim or jump off the diving board or ride a bicycle. There's a lot of great things in life. But when it feels like the first time, it's really, really good if you're successful. If you fail the first time you got on the bike and split your chin open and had 12 stitches, you hope that it feels like the second time for you. But to Phee, I didn't have any wrecks early on in the bicycle career, so I really enjoyed riding my Huffy to school, 1st through 6th grade, and I enjoyed doing it when it was raining, but my mother wouldn't allow me to do it. But again, feels like the first time every day. My Lord's coming back soon, folks, and you're going to see a lot of firsts come within these next few years. And we're going to be right here with you at the Phee Smee Network. We're excited. I want you guys to go tune in to Fee's Sports Ball with Sir Isaac the Guru. We'll have Midday Madness with Manly Mark and the Phee Smee Show once weekly on our podcast until we get into Phase 2. Then we'll come back with a daily 24 hours, 7 days a week, folks. That's where we're going. We're just not there yet. So remember, no matter what you're doing, you're missing something. So let's make what we're doing worth what we're missing. God bless you guys, and you enjoy yourself. Night, night.